Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this demo. And I'm just going to share my screen with you. And so, as you know, this demo is taking place on Livestorm, but all of the participants, so I'd like you to all participate within Beekast, and we'll do everything within Beekast. Okay, so so you can see at the top here, to participate, go to www.beekast.live and then enter the session code. So just give people a few minutes to do that. And brilliant. So okay, so I can see that we've got lots of people connected now. Excellent. So, okay. So I'm going to show you a remote meeting with Beekast. And before we start then, so prerequisites for this webinar, and we'll talk about the goals of the webinar, our tips for hosting a remote meeting with Beekast. You'll also experience a remote team meeting with Beekast, so you'll be able to participate yourselves. And then in the final part, you will have a demo of the back end so that you can see how to set up activities. And then finally, we will have Q&A. So for those of you who are just joining us now, welcome. And just a quick reminder to participate with me. So go to www.beekast.live and then enter the session code web2502, as you can see at the top. So you can ask questions as we go along, and I'll invite you to do that. You can see in the discussion forum that people have sent. Okay, I can see that we've sent in messages there already. Excellent. And so really, yeah, interact as much as possible and use the like function as well on the questions. I've set aside 2 slots for us to answer them. So the ones that you like, we will answer them as a priority. And yeah, so we have the lovely Julie with us in marketing, who is going to answer these questions as we go along. Okay, brilliant. So let's go. Okay, so goals of this webinar. So really, I want you to understand how you can host your team meetings within Beekast and learn how to create your own Beekast meeting with activities. So you'll see that we will upload and import content, PowerPoint, PDF, and videos, and then you'll see that you will participate in some of these Beekast activities, and then afterwards I will show you how you create them. So I really want you to get involved as much as possible. Don't be shy. And yeah, so I'll show you how you can really get people involved. And as we've said, you can ask questions as we go along. Okay, so some tips for hosting a meeting. Very important to make sure that you prepare it in advance and define a clear goal. Make sure that you have a clear agenda as well. We'll talk about this in more depth afterwards, but yeah, you need to make sure that you've got all of the right people invited. Beekast really helps you designate a timekeeper as well. That's really important. The idea is that you're using our software not only to make your meetings more interactive and efficient, but also hopefully to make them shorter. You need to, of course, decide on the necessary materials as well, and really so you can give participants a voice. Um, Always important to do that in advance. And then end the meeting and follow up. So you can really use Beekast for all of this with actions and the decisions functionality. So I'll show you this later. You're really forced to structure your meetings with Beekast due to how the software is designed. We'll talk about this later and you'll see. And yeah, so as you can see, Beekast is very simple. So I'll show you how you can enhance meeting engagement also with Beekast's inspiration site later on. Okay, so now I'm just going to take some questions and answers. So hi there in the future. Is there in the future add-in possibility, for example, Blue Jeans or Microsoft Teams? Okay, brilliant. So thank you for your question, Floris. Very important question. We'll be talking about this later. Yes, this is a priority of Beekast, the integrations, because the idea is that you use it with your existing digital infrastructure. In terms of future add-ins, so this is already the case. So it's, yeah, Beekast is already fully integrated within Microsoft Teams and lots of other video conferencing services as well. We'll talk about this in more depth later, but you'll see Zoom, Skype and so forth, and Jitsi can be used with all of these, and Google Meet. It can be used with Blue Jeans, although that's not a full-blown integration. Brilliant. So next question, does it work in Spanish? Very important question. The answer is the interface at the moment is being translated. It will be available in 7 European languages from next month. So that is a work in progress. At present, the interface is available in English and French. Next question we have, how can Beekast help me to better run my meetings? I'll show you all of this in due course throughout the meetings. That's quite a big question, Toucan. But yeah, thank you for your question. I'll try and show you really that the idea is that because it's a slide-based philosophy behind it rather than canvas based. The idea is that in order to get maximum impact, you import your content, and then Beekast, because of how the software is designed, it's almost automatically structured for you. So you better run your meetings because they're better structured. You get people involved, and then we're very heavy on the automatically generated reporting side of thing and templates. So if I were to summarize, they're the key components, Toucan, that will really help you better run your meeting, make it more collaborative, efficient, and shorter. Okay. No more questions? No worries. So so we're going to go back to the presentation then. So let's run a remote team meeting together. Perfect. Okay. So as we've said, very important that you prepare the meeting in advance in order to increase efficiency. This is particularly important for collective intelligence, which is what Beekast is all about, where it's important to engage people and participants in advance so they can think about the questions before the meeting with a specific focus on your meeting objectives so that they'll actually have ideas to share during the meeting so that and get involved in that way. So yeah, as we've said, define a clear objective for which you can easily identify the resources you need to reach it. So we've mentioned right attendees, people who are actually going to help you meet and achieve your goal. And Duration as well is crucial. You don't want the meeting to last longer than it needs to, but it needs to last long enough. Documents and web links. So all of that in advance. You would do all of that within Beekast so that everything is centralized. I'll show you that in the demo part, what it looks like. But yeah, all of that content is going to be there, and everything must be based on your predetermined objective. So very important. We've spoken about the timekeeper, and the role of the moderator as well is absolutely crucial to help the group advance towards their shared goal. And then final part for running a remote team meeting together effectively is the concluding phase. And Beekast really helps you do that. So you can plan actions and decisions from activities within Beekast so that you have maximum impact in relation to the meeting objective. Again, using Beekast for all of this. And also, as we've said, using Beekast's reporting functionalities. So, down to business. So, I'm going to run an activity with you now. So, have you guys ever used Beekast before? So, I'll let you just take part in this. Can see people are answering already. The answers are feeding in there. You can see also I'm not not giving any information to the participants, and we can see that people are just participating automatically as it's very intuitive. Okay, so I can see that lots of you have used Beekast before, but some of you haven't. And I'm just going to stop the activity there, and I'm now going to present the results that are going to update automatically. So we can see we've got the results there. You can do that as a bar, donut, or pie. Brilliant. So the idea of using these activities really is that you do it in a very coordinated way so that in the meeting you can identify obstacles in real time. What typically happens in the standard video conferencing meeting without software is that people realize afterwards at the meeting that they've been in for, say, 3 hours, that they've been stuck at obstacles throughout that meeting when they should have avoided them beforehand. So we're trying to help you do that. So breaking the ice. So this is really important, and you use Beekast to help you do that. Why is this important, you might think? Well, it's so you can really establish a trusting environment to encourage real meaningful discussions and a real working culture in which people really feel involved and valued in the workplace. Very important. But also, more powerful than that, if you think about it in terms of actually being in a workplace where you're heard, in terms of where gender equality and so forth are more and more important, it's very important that people are heard. Okay, so we're going to move on to another example of an icebreaker. I'll show you various examples afterwards in the demo part. I just wanted to start with this one. So typically people, whilst everyone is joining the meeting, they might have a video or song in the background that really just creates an atmosphere in which people feel comfortable and energized. So yeah, as participants, you would simply just click the play button, and then this will play for you there. So you can see that if I were to do that, that's just going to play, and then everyone would hear that. Okay, so you've done the icebreaker. Everyone is energized in your meeting, and we're going to move on to the next part, which is really important. So typically in this type of remote meeting, you will need to share information with your colleagues. Okay, so First goal then is really to set, so we're going to set everyone's objectives for the day in this one, which I'm showing you. I'm just going to start it now. So I've set Beekast up so it's synchronized. So I'm manually starting activities one by one. That gives the most user-friendly experience possible, really, rather than having more than one activity open. So I've now started it. I've just opened that this second, and you can see that you now can participate in real time, which I will ask you to do, and just send in your answers there. So we can see that they're feeding in automatically. And I've chosen the direct mode that allows people to see all participants' answers here in real time, but it's also worth noting that it's possible to use the round by round mode, where each participant displays his or her card or idea one by one, and then they justify their answer. If you're in the context where you don't want everybody to share it all at the same time, because sometimes people's initial ideas are going to influence other people's, and you might not want that in specific contexts. So the software is designed to be as flexible as possible to reach all of your remote meeting needs. So during your team meetings, you can also identify actions to do, as well as more specific follow-up meetings to plan. So you can do this with the action and decision functionality. Okay, so I'm just going to show you an example of that. So if I click plan an action on work, I'm going to assign this to Julie, and maybe that wasn't the best idea to have clicked a follow-up action on. So I'm just going to add in for the details. Imagine that we've got a big important meeting tomorrow at 7 a.m. So arrive in office for 6:30 a.m. and then I would simply select the due date there, and let's say that's tomorrow, priority high, very important board meeting to do, and then that is created. You'll get that in the report, and you can also activate it so that the people who have created their accounts get email notifications of those important follow-up actions from your meetings. Okay, so you can see, so you can see how this works nicely, very important for the follow-up. And the idea really is that rather than waiting until the end of the meeting, you overcome obstacles in real time and do it as you go along, obviously with reports automatically generated afterwards. But rather than waiting, that is part of where all of the inefficiency arises from, where people are stuck and waste time and dilly-dally rather than cracking on. So you're using software to enhance the efficiency in that sense. Okay, so moving on to the next activity, which I want to show you and ask you to participate in, is going to be gathering feedback. So I'm just going to just going to open that activity in a moment, and I'm firstly going to just close this one that you're still able to answer. I could, of course, run the polling tool on this, and if I did want to do that, people would simply click on plus and minus signs to, oh no, sorry, so they would like ideas here. And yeah, so you can also run the polling tool as well. I'll show you this in more depth in the demo part. We're going to move on now to gathering feedback. Okay, so this is really important when you need to evaluate the meeting's effectiveness, for instance, so that you can make sure that it's better for next time. And I am now just going to start a rating tool. So you'll see there, if you click take part, that you will have the instructions at the top there. And yeah, so just give people, we can see there we've got the countdown because I've set it up in that way. And just 3, 2, 1. So you've got to answer in the time. And then, so we have the mean average rating there automatically in real time. Okay, perfect. So you've got the results there. So questions and answers again, opportunity for more questions. Okay, so first one, can we export and keep the data from the questionnaires carried out during the session? Yes, is the straight answer. So I'll show you how you will do that. And it's in editable format. That's really, really important. So yeah, all of that data is yours. That's one of the things that will add the most value to your use of Beekast and the business efficiency side of things. Second question, can we customize the presentations? Yes, you can. You can add logos, you can add your corporate logo if you've got the enterprise Beekast license, and you can change the color scheme. And can we use Beekast to replace Zoom for our team meetings and web conferences? So thanks for your question, Ibu Devoué. And the answer is, you wouldn't necessarily use it to replace Zoom. Beekast can be connected to Zoom. The idea is that you use Zoom for the video conferencing side of things, and then you run everything else within Beekast. So yeah, you can. So basically, you're running this session now, and you can see everybody within the Zoom call as well, whilst you're on the Beekast window. You do also have the option, if you wanted to fully replace your video conferencing software, and you could use Beekast with Jitsi, and then you wouldn't need a Zoom license, for instance. Jitsi is open source and free for you to use, and that is you can use that as an integration within Beekast. So the answer is really, depending on what your company needs are, you could replace your video conferencing software, but you don't have to. It's up to you. Okay, brilliant. So we're going to move on now to what is Beekast exactly? The most important question, perhaps. So what is Beekast? It's a web application. As you can see, you're participating with me, and there's nothing to download. So you just use it in your web browser, or as we've mentioned, if you're using Beekast as an application within Microsoft Teams, then you would use it all within Teams. So what is Beekast? It's a digital platform used to make collaboration easier and more efficient and effective for your team. So very simple to use, as you can see, and it really adapts to your different contexts. So meetings, training sessions, workshops, and even events. I would also add project management. It's very valuable to complete project management tools there, as you saw with the action and decision follow-up functionality there. So yeah, it's designed to be as intuitive for anyone, so very intuitive to use, and anyone who can use PowerPoint really can use Beekast, no problem. It's been designed like that deliberately. You'll see what I mean when I show you the demo in terms of the session host point of view, what I mean by that. And yeah, it's slide based rather than canvas based. So simplicity for maximum impact to enhance business efficiency. You really don't need to be an expert to use it, as all of you can see participating in these activities with me. Didn't really need me to say much in order for you to do that. You could just do it straight away. That's very important for business, for maximum impact. And yeah, so you can easily add your PowerPoint presentations, PDFs, or video content within Beekast, and seamlessly create your own slides and then add Beekast's interactive activities. So it really guides you in the hosting of your meeting with very simple to use functionalities, as well as inspirations or templates, which we will look at in due course. And yeah, finally, Beekast helps you finish your meetings. So all is automated. So it's your solution to automatically generate reports for the meeting minutes, editable reports that you can then share with the entire team. Okay, so building on the question that has already been raised, so integrations. So Beekast, as you can see, can be integrated fully with, well, into Microsoft Teams, can be used perfectly with Zoom. That is a connection. So you see, it's what we call a picture-to-picture integration. It means you run the meeting on Zoom and you're on Beekast as well, and you see everybody within the Zoom call whilst you see everything within Beekast. So perfect user experience there. And then Jitsi, which we have spoken about, you can do that so that you can literally use Jitsi within Beekast. So you see everybody's webcams whilst you see all of the activities, and many more, as you can see: Moodle, Google Meet, Skype, and also WebEx. BlueJeans as well. We've got loads of clients who use Beekast with BlueJeans. You can use Beekast with BlueJeans perfectly. Okay, so thank you everybody who's participated in the activities. We're now going to move on to the demo side of things, where I show you how it works from the facilitator host point of view. Okay, so I am just going to, I'm going to create some activities now. Okay, so you can see now that so when I click add a, okay, so so when I click add a slide here, you can see that these are the activities that are available for you to insert. So word cloud, selfie wall, idea board, metaphor tool, canvas, survey, prioritization matrix, and many more, as you can see here, multiple choice questions as well. So there's a large range of activities. And then this is really where you import the content, as we've already spoken about. So videos, Vimeo, Dailymotion, or from your hard drive, or from YouTube, of course. You literally just copy and paste the links for them, or upload it from your hard drive. And then, yeah, PowerPoint, PDF, and the Beekast slide, which is similar to PowerPoint, where you want to add information as you go along. So I'm going to show you, firstly, how to create an icebreaker. And I'm going to show you the word cloud for this. So you can see I've simply just selected the word cloud, and I'm going to put can send multiple words. So people have just joined your meeting and you want them to engage. I'm going to send, so send in a word to describe your mood today. And then simply create that Click save, that's done, and that is now here. And you can participate in this with me. I've just clicked start activity. So I'll let people just send in their words there and they will appear. Excellent, brilliant. So I can see people are just sending in words. Leave this open for a few moments to show you. Of course, all of this data will be captured in the session report. Show you how to do that afterwards. So yeah, really straightforward. Just going to leave this open for a few more moments whilst people just send in more words. Okay, excellent. Brilliant. So you get the idea. Not complicated. And yeah, you've got the icebreaker there. Okay, I'm going to show you another one now. So simply, again, just like PowerPoint, bottom right, simply click Add Slide. And I'm going to show you the idea board because this is one that is really used a lot in remote meetings. And I'm going to set this up for sharing information. So simply I select idea board. I could click round by round if I want the ideas to appear so that we go each person by each person, one by one, or I could do it live. I'm going to go for live actually on this one. And what obstacles, imagine this is a company-wide meeting. What obstacles are you facing at the moment? Oh, excuse me for that rogue typo. Simply add the activities. I'm going to just add different departments here as it's a company-wide meeting. Obviously, and then we'll add customer success. Obviously, you can add as many categories as you want. I'm just going to add 3. I'm going to enable polling in terms of the number of likes. I'm going to enable each participant to have up to 20 points, and you can add colors if you want to. So I've enabled that, and I'm going to make it so the ideas are anonymous. You can see you've got these settings here. Don't need approval. Let's say I want to add a stopwatch. Okay, set that up. You can see that fairly straightforward. And yeah, so I'm now going to start this activity. So I've simply clicked start. What what obstacles are you facing at the moment? So I'll let people just send in ideas there very quickly. We've seen this already, so we won't spend too much time on this. But I will show you that if you want to hide a category, you can do. Simply just click on those 3 dots and click hide. So too much work, I'm gonna move that into marketing. So you've got the option. So if I click hide, you'll see as participants that you can no longer send in ideas under the category of customer success. Imagine someone shouts out, yeah, Joshua, we could do with another category. As the session host, I would simply add another one as we go along. And then we're going to do the polling now. So I'm going to make all categories visible. Then I'm going to ask the participants to vote on what they consider the most relevant ideas. We're doing it by just simply clicking on the plus and minus signs. And let's say you've got too many things going on at once. I'm going to assign 16 points to that and then 4 to that one. Then click validate. And then when that's done, I simply click stop polling. As you can see, it's all in real time, and then polling result, and I'm presenting that. So we can see that we've got that there, a nice breakdown that you will of course have in the session report. Okay, and so I've stopped that activity. I'm gonna show you now feedback. So imagine you want feedback. Okay, I'm just gonna set this one up. So was yesterday's training session helpful? I could, of course, use a whole range of tools. I could use the prioritizing tool for this if I want a more precise breakdown where you've got a code of, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or even so you could do it for categories like this. But I'm just going to go for yes and no. But if I wanted to set up the prioritizing tool where they're reaching a decision between different options, you could do that as well. For the sake of simplicity, though, so was yesterday's trading session helpful? Yes or no? Save, and then I've set that up. That's done, and then start activity, and people are answering. Okay, brilliant. So you can see that there. And then when I click stop activity, okay, I can see these are updating. We've got 6 answers there. And if I click stop activity, we can display the results there as a nice pie chart, or donut rather, and then this would be the pie. Okay, brilliant. So what I want to show you now then, so what often happens is sometimes you're running your remote meeting, but you might feel as if you're lacking inspiration beforehand whilst preparing it. So as promised, so we're going to go to the templates and imagine your goal is initiate communication in this remote team meeting. And then you just simply click on the things that are relevant to you, duration of the activity, how advanced the Beekast user is, and so forth, and then apply filters. And then you've got them here. And okay, well, I'm just going to import the weather report. So this is one of our templates. So I can show you this. Simply start the activity. And you have that. Okay, got all of that there. Just before I start it, if I click on edit, okay, in the instructions, so I'll just show you, if I go back, whilst I'm in templates, and I go to filters and then initiate communication, and then click apply filters. If you click on see more, okay, this directs you, I simply click on that, I've clicked on that, simply directs me towards Beekast's inspirations site that gives you a step-by-step guide to how you would carry out this template or model activity. So here you can see initiate communication. Each participant will articulate the mood they perceive in the team at the start of the meeting, etc., etc. Gives you all of the information there. So lots of detail for that, and then gives you a nice summary. So yeah, you've got a lot of templates available in the inspiration site. Okay, so just gonna go back to this here. So you've seen the inspirations and templates very quickly, and we're now going to go to just a quick overview what we've looked at. So yeah, as you can see, really, in terms of the inspirations site there, the idea is that Beekast is your personal coach as well, so that you can learn how to host your own Beekast meetings and activities fairly independently, Although if you did have an enterprise license, you would of course be in contact with the customer success department at Beekast anyway, who would define your objectives with you. So final part then really, before we go over to Q&A and look at the reports. So the overview. So as you've seen, Beekast makes collaboration easier and more effective in your day-to-day work. So the tool's easy to learn and get the hang of. And you saw when I showed you some of the activities that there really is an enormous range available that can be adapted to all of your different contexts for meetings, but also training and events, as we saw. So if you want to set up and try out Beekast, I would encourage you to set up the free account, and you can use all of the activities with up to 3 participants. Okay, and the prices are adapted to your use of the tool. So if you're using it with 1,000 people, then obviously that's a very different price from, say, if you're using it with up 10 people maximum, where it's €9 a month. Okay, so going to go over to questions and answers now. So see if you've got any more questions and answers. I will be showing you the reporting functionalities afterwards, fear not. Okay, do we have a report? So do we have a report? Yeah, can we have a report? Absolutely, yeah, I'm going to show you and how to see more Beekast activities. Okay, I'll deal with the first question. So for the reports, simply click on Documents here, okay, and then you would simply just click Generate, and then a Microsoft Word document is sent to the Beekast session host by email that they can edit and then share with their entire team. Again, the action plan that is sent to you by email, and that just has a list of all of the actions and decisions that we're taking during the session. You've also got the third report available in Excel format, which is a detailed statistical breakdown, so you can see how much participants got involved in the session. How to see more Beekast activities? Second question. So as you saw here, if I click add a slide, then these are some of the activities that we've got. So word cloud, selfie wall. So as this is just a general webinar and overview, to give you a teaser, if you like, I would encourage you to all just create a free account so you can play around with all of these. But yeah, so selfie wall, we've got that as well. Metaphor tool is mainly for problem solving and more of an agile brainstorming tool. And then, yeah, you've seen lots of these with me, but you've got mapping tools as well, canvases, so tools for challenges and quizzes, multiple choice questions. And then you've seen the ranking tool as well. Sorry, the rating tool and the survey. But yes, you can see all of these here. And any more questions? So where are the servers that host Beekast? So they're located in the European Union, in Germany and Ireland. So that's quite an important point, because in terms of protection against the transfer of personal data, it's all in accordance with the very stringent European Union regulations. So no worries there on that front. So yeah, our clouds are all based in the EU. Okay, so don't think there are any more questions there. So just to finish then really, so just going to go on to the next slide for you. Okay, so additional additional resources. I think we're okay. Actually, you've seen. So I've showed you actually all of the reporting functionalities. So you've seen that very quickly. Yeah. So you can see that if you want to sign up for free, yeah, I would encourage you to do that. And if your attendees, as we've mentioned, if they have a Beekast account, they will get notifications for all of the actions and decisions that they've been tagged in. So it's perfect for follow-ups. I've showed you the inspiration site already. I'd encourage you to look at that for sure. It gives you a lot more guidance to see how you can get more out of Beekast. And yeah, so the blogs as well are really helpful. They're good for advice on best practices and use cases and further inspiration. The Help Center is, again, really helpful, invaluable resource to answer questions on specific activities that, for instance, well, there's a whole range of things that you might have, but if you're running challenges, you can display podiums and things like that. They're a little bit more advanced in Beekast. That's where the Help Center is really, really valuable for your specific questions. For our clients, there is, of course, the live chat. So where we answer your questions in real time. And again, if you want to view Beekast's pricing, then you can see that on our website. So if you do have any questions, feel free to email me directly at joshua.hayward@beekast.com. That's, yeah, Joshua, standard spelling, and then Hayward, Haywood. So yeah, thank you for joining me in this webinar, and yeah, that's everything for today.